Yi Xian looked in the direction of the boundless sacred ground. Moments later he turned around and left. He did not take any more risks. His current strength was not enough for him to take the risk. After Yi Xian left, in the bamboo house in the back mountain of the Holy Land, the mysterious woman smiled, "Very smart." At this moment the Holy Master arrived in front of the bamboo house and bowed slightly. "Master, that Yi Xian just went to the Tao sect and then came to our Holy Land. He should have left by now." The woman said, "Ignore him." The Holy Master nodded. "Understood." After saying that, he quietly retreated. In the bamboo house the woman read the ancient book, and as she read, her eyes gradually became cold. Yi Xian arrived at Xian City. As soon as he stepped into Xian City, a man in black suddenly appeared behind him. Yi Xian turned around and the man in black threw out his right hand. 15 bloody heads appeared in front of Yi Xian. The man in black said, "All of them are Tao Sect's Consolidation Realm experts." Yi Xian looked at the black-clothed man. The black-clothed man in front of him was the one who had killed the Taoism powerhouses at the auction. He did not expect that the other party would dare to kill Tao Sect's experts. Moreover, he had really killed 15 Consolidation Realm experts. At this moment, the man in black suddenly stretched out his right hand. Yi Xian flicked his finger, and a scroll appeared in front of the man in black. It was the 9th Tao scripture. The man in black put away the Tao scripture and turned to leave. At this moment Yi Xian suddenly said, "There's another deal, do you want to do it?" The man in black stopped. "What else do you have?" Yi Xian smiled and said, "What do you think I can give you?" The man in black was silent. Yi Xian said again, "Can you really understand the 9th Tao scripture?" The man in black opened the scroll and a moment later he asked, "Can you understand it?" Yi Xian smiled and said, "I've already had people study the 9th Tao scripture thoroughly. Do you want it?" The man in black was silent. Yi Xian said again, "The Whirling sect has had the 9th Tao scripture for so many years, but they still have not fully understood it. Do you think you're better than the Whirling sect?" The man in black said, "What do you want me to do?" Yi Xian said, "Follow me." The man in black shook his head. "No. You're too dangerous. Following you is equivalent to risking my life. It's not worth it." Yi Xian smiled and said, "What if I give you a satisfactory price?" The man in black looked at Yi Xian. "What's the price?" Yi Xian thought for a moment, then said, "Do you want to go to the 9th dimension?" "The 9th dimension." The man in black was stunned. Yi Xian looked at the man in black. "I'm serious." The man in black said in a deep voice, "Are you really from the 9th dimension?" Yi Xian nodded, "Yes." The man in black was silent for a moment, then said, "How can I believe you?" Yi Xian flicked his finger and the supreme sword appeared in front of the man in black. "I brought this out from the 9th dimension, take a look." The man in black hesitated for a moment, then held the sword. The next moment he suddenly looked up at Yi Xian. "This?" Yi Xian smiled and said, "You've never seen such a strange sword, right?" The man in black was silent. Yi Xian continued, "You're now at the peak of the consolidation realm, do you want to reach a higher level? For example, the divine realm?" The man in black looked at Yi Xian. "The force behind you is so strong, why do you still need me?" Yi Xian thought for a moment, then said, "I'm the son of the 9th dimension, I came here to gain experience, and like the emperor of the secular world, do you understand?" The man in black looked at Yi Xian. "Why do I feel like you're bluffing?" Yi Xian said seriously, "I'm a swordsman. And I'm the world's top swordsman. Do you think such a powerful swordsman would lie?" The man in black was silent. Yi Xian continued, 3 years, you follow me for 3 years, after 3 years I'll help you reach the divine realm, if not." Speaking of this he looked at the man in black. "What's your surname?" The man in black said, "Yang." Yi Xian hurriedly said, "If I can't help you reach the divine realm, I'll change my surname to yours." The man in black was speechless. Yi Xian smiled and said, "I won't force you. If you don't want to, you can leave." The black-clothed man shook his head. "Following you is too dangerous." With that he turned to leave. Meanwhile Yi Xian spoke abruptly, "You killed 15 members of the Taoist sect. They won't let you off." The man in black stopped and Yi Xian said, "I'm about to summon the spirit of the great Tao. Do you really not want to witness the appearance of the spirit of the great Tao? If you follow me you will." In order to obtain a detailed explanation of all the Tao scriptures, including the 9th volume. If you were one of us, believe me, you wouldn't be able to understand this 9th scripture. The black-robed man opened the ancient scroll again. After looking at it for a moment he disappeared. The corners of Yi Xian's mouth lifted slightly. He knew that this person would come looking for him again. because he was absolutely unable to understand the ninth scripture. If not for Nian Yan, even he and Yi Jiming would not have been able to understand the ninth scripture. Yi Xian turned and left. He went to Xian City and found Lan Ruo. In a garden somewhere, two people were walking side by side. Lan Ruo said softly, "I've underestimated you." Obviously, she already knew what Yi Xian had done in the Dao domain. To be honest, she was also a little shocked. Yi Xian had instantly killed a Consolidation Realm powerhouse, and he had almost killed Dao Lao Heir. If second brother Dao didn't have a Dao physique, he would definitely be dead. The holy leader smiled, "Yes." The second Taoist nodded, "That's good." The holy leader suddenly said, "If we kill Yi Xian, the sacred land wants a complete version of the Dao scripture." The second Taoist smiled, "No problem." The holy leader said, "Including the mental cultivation method and the Dao scripture martial arts." The second Taoist looked at the holy leader, "No problem." The holy leader nodded, "Go. If those two women appear, the sacred land will stand up to them." With that, he turned and disappeared into the horizon. In the field, the second Taoist looked much more relaxed. With the help of the sacred land, he had more confidence in killing Yi Xian this time. Soon, the second Taoist and the fourth Taoist led all the experts to the fifth dimension. The two of them did not want to wait any longer. This time the Dao sect really came out in full force. Obviously, the Dao sect wanted to fight to the death. Not long after the second Taoist and the others left the Dao domain, Yi Xian suddenly appeared in the Dao domain. He had been hiding in the dark for a long time, and only appeared when he saw the second Taoist and the others leaving the Dao domain. He naturally would not fight with the second Taoist and the others now. Yi Xian looked around. He had to say that the Dao domain was very cold because all the top experts of the Dao sect had gone to the fifth dimension. Yi Xian walked down, and at this moment, an angry shout suddenly sounded from afar. "Who are you?" Yi Xian casually waved his sword, and a head flew hundreds of meters away. At the same time, 20 black-clothed men suddenly appeared silently in the surroundings, and it wasn't long before numerous shrill cries resounded incessantly. Yi Xian slowly walked to the front of a large hall, and there was a statue in front of the hall. The statue of the Dao sect's ancestor. Yi Xian glanced at the statue and then walked toward the Dao palace. The Dao palace was very cold and there was not a single person. Yi Xian smiled and he opened his palm, and the 9 Dao scriptures appeared in his hand. He glanced at the 9 Dao scriptures and said with a smile, "Let's see if you guys panic." With that, he slowly closed his eyes, and in front of him, the 9 Dao scriptures suddenly trembled. Fusion. The moment all the Dao scriptures trembled, a mysterious aura suddenly rose from the Dao sect, and went straight into the depths of the starry sky. Dao scriptures fusion. On the other side, the second Taoist and the others were rushing to the starry sky of the fifth dimension. At this moment, a voice sounded in his mind. The second Taoist frowned. The fourth Taoist asked, "Yi Xian went to our Dao domain?" The second Taoist nodded. The fourth Taoist frowned slightly. "Are we going back?" The second Taoist shook his head. "No, he will return to the fifth dimension by himself. Because he is more anxious than us." The fourth Taoist nodded. Everyone continued forward.